Strong words from a Dane County Division Administrator today. Why the individual is blasting the county board for disrespecting its managers. Plus, as the world continues to mourn Queen Elizabeth II, part of the Queen's legacy has a city in Wisconsin sewn right into it. And we're learning what's next for the UK as the new king takes the throne. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. Well, good evening and thanks for having us in. Let's get a look at your certified most accurate forecast. Meteorologist Chris Reese is on the weather patio. What a beautiful Friday.
Beautiful Friday indeed, Brady. We are gearing up for some rain that's getting ready to move our way. But for now, let's talk about this sunshine because we're all about soaking up the weather when it's nice too. And you can't even find a cloud in the sky at this point. Temperatures have come down to 80. They're going to start dropping now. Winds out of the south at 11 miles per hour, but the dew point is 59. I mean, that is truly a comfortable brand of air. 80s all across southern Wisconsin and even right here in Madison Metro. We've got a lot of those temperatures right around 80 to 81. Those are the popular numbers right here in Dane County. Wanakee at 81, but 80 in Verona. Middleton, you're back at 81, but 80 in Cross Plains, Mount Horeb, and Belleville. So a good afternoon and evening is in store. I'm still watching the rain, by the way. That same front that I told you about yesterday and really even on Monday this week or Tuesday, that's still starting to work its way into the picture. We're seeing some rain to the north. That stays to the north for now. So grilling this evening, we're still mild, comfortable, and clear. Temperatures will hang out into the 70s, but if you've been thinking about dinner outside, do it now. Don't put it off because those rain chances are certainly on the rise. I could be talking about washout conditions going into your Saturday night and Sunday. We are breaking this down when we come back in just a bit.
Thanks, Chris. A Dane County Division Administrator is going on the record today, blasting the county board for disrespecting its managers. It's not the first time tensions have boiled out into the open, as Naomi Coles explains.
That's right, Brady. At the end of July, the head of Human Services resigned and left a resignation letter reported by the Wisconsin State Journal at the time. It really didn't mince words. She accused the county board of favoring employee groups over department heads. It's similar allegations today that Badger Prairie Nursing Home Administrator Bill Brotzman is making. I joined him at the home this week where he says the staffing crisis has come to a head, with employees at times working 16-hour shifts and 20 hours of overtime in a week. Last week, the county board punted on a decision to allow him to contract more travel nurses, prompting this from him today.
It's very unfortunate that some members of the county board have still made it clear that they don't trust our leadership team here and the managers to make the proper decisions. And instead, they've asked that union officials insert themselves into our operational decisions.
I took all of this to the county board chair, who says he won't apologize for elected officials doing their job of public oversight of taxpayer dollars. You can hear more from his interview and the full story of my discussion with Bill Brotzman. That's coming up at 6 o'clock.
All right. Thank you, Naomi. Well, one person is dead after crashing head-on with a semi-truck early this morning outside of Richland Center. Deputies were called to U.S. Highway 14 east of State Highway 58 just before 6. Both lanes of Highway 14 were closed as crews cleared the scene. Witnesses told authorities the driver of the vehicle in the westbound lane appeared to drift into oncoming traffic. The semi-driver tried to get out of the way but hit the car head-on. The driver of the car was pronounced dead at the scene. The semi-driver was not hurt in the crash. Madison police say they've not received any more reports of the dangerous cords being strung across a bike trail on the city's southwest side after stepping up patrols in the area. The cords began appearing across a bridge on the Badger State Trail near Allied Drive late last month. Well, bicyclists reported them to police several mornings in a row. The cords were discovered in the early morning hours before sunrise, with one biker saying he didn't see the cord before he hit it. UW-Madison leaders are condemning anti-Semitic messages that were found written in chalk all around campus. University officials say the messages targeted Jewish student groups, calling them racist and genocidal. The school's vice chancellor and deputy vice chancellor released a statement apologizing to the Jewish student body and others who may have been affected by the comments. They also note that the school strives to create a campus where every student feels they belong, and these messages harm that goal.
There needs to be a discussion about what we feel has happened and where this fits into a continuum of anti-Semitic behavior that's been ongoing for some time, and really what the questions are. An investigation would reveal, were these students? Maybe. Were they not students? And what levers within a university community, moral levers even, about how we treat each other can be discussed.
UW's Hillel Foundation also released a separate statement saying no student should be targeted because of their identity. Harry Waite, the Racine County man accused of fraudulently ordering absentee ballots, can no longer talk to the press. That's after the judge in this case issued a gag order. Waite admitted to ordering absentee ballots using the names of local elected officials. He says he did so to expose flaws in the system, which the state's top elections official says do not exist. UW-Madison law professor John Gross says the judge's gag order may be because the case is so politically charged.
I think part of what the judge's gag order is taking into account is that for the defendant here, he may not have any defense at trial, and this is simply a way of generating publicity.
Gross says any publicity around the case may taint a potential juror pool if the case goes to trial. Waite faces 2 felony and 2 misdemeanor counts and will be back in court September 19th. Britain is marking the end of an era with the death of Queen Elizabeth II. Today, her son, now King Charles III, spoke to a grieving nation. This was Charles' first address to the world as king. Queen Elizabeth's death in Scotland yesterday instantly elevated her 73-year-old son to the throne. He was at his mother's side in her final hours and delivered his speech with a framed photo of the Queen on his desk. Now, in his speech, he promised to follow his mother's example of lifelong service.
I, too, now solemnly pledge myself, throughout the remaining time God grants me, to uphold the constitutional principles at the heart of our nation.
With the country now in a 10-day mourning period, thousands gathered at St. Paul's Cathedral for a service of remembrance. After a public viewing in Scotland, the Queen will be flown to London on Tuesday to lie in state before her funeral at Westminster Abbey. As the world mourns the loss of England's longest reigning monarch, part of Queen Elizabeth II's legacy has a city in Wisconsin sewn into it. Our Catherine Merck shows us that historic mark that's left in Fort Atkinson. Catherine?
Who would have thought that a little city in the middle of Wisconsin would have the memory of the Queen stitched into its past? And it's all the way down to something as small as her socks. So here's the story. Fort Atkinson was once the home of the Better Socks knitting mill. They made silk socks and hosiery, which was sometimes hard to get during World War II's time. In that era, when Princess Elizabeth announced that she was going to get married, a woman named Nina wrote her a note asking if there was anything that she could use to help with her wedding preparations. Elizabeth wrote back to her and said she could use some stockings.
Well, it's definitely a claim to fame. You know, there aren't too many things that we have in Fort Atkinson that we can say went to royalty. It's very near and dear to both Fort Atkinson and obviously Queen Elizabeth.
Now, there is a slight catch here. We know that Better Sock stockings were sent to Princess Elizabeth prior to her wedding and that she did have them in her possession. We don't know if she wore them on her wedding day, but we'd like to think so. However, the director at the Hoard Historical Museum said they have this exhibit up to show part of the Queen's life had Wisconsin threaded inside of it. If you want to see it yourself, they're open Tuesday through Sunday, 9:30 to 4:30.
What a cool connection. Thanks, Catherine. But tributes for the late Queen continue to pour in from all around the world, from world leaders and celebrities who knew her to those who just admired her from afar. Natalie Brand has more.
In Australia, a 96-gun salute sounded off to mark each year of Queen Elizabeth II's life. Images of her graced the front pages of newspapers around the world, including in India, a former British colony that became independent in 1947.
She has attained such a level that everybody loves her.
Germany's parliament observed a moment of silence. French President Emmanuel Macron signed the memory book and laid a single white rose for the Queen at the British Embassy in Paris.
In her, I have known a great head of state, a unique example of her devotion to her people.
Flags now fly at half-staff outside of NATO headquarters and the United Nations. In Washington, D.C., a memorial outside the British Embassy is growing.
The Queen's the only Queen I've ever known, only monarch I've ever known, and she's been massively important.
President Biden visited the embassy on Thursday and later publicly expressed his condolences, calling the Queen an incredibly decent and gracious woman.
funeral, sir?
Yes. I don't know what the details are yet, but I will be going.
Celebrities are also posting their remembrances on social media. Actress Helen Mirren, who won an Oscar for her portrayal of the Queen, wrote on Instagram, "We mourn a woman who, with or without the crown, was the epitome of nobility." Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Other celebrities posting online tributes include Sir Elton John, who says she was an inspiring presence to be around, and Rolling Stones frontman Mick Jagger, who says he remembers her as a beautiful young lady to the much-beloved grandmother of the nation. 9/11 has been on our minds for nearly 21 years now, and as we approach the anniversary, we're seeing lingering health effects in first responders. That story next at 5. And later, the Wisconsin DNR is looking for volunteers to teach hunter safety. How you can get involved tonight at 6. And here's a look at stocks. The Dow is up 377 points, NASDAQ is up 250, and the S&P 500 is up 61.
The Socialist Squad led the charge to defund the police and eliminate bail for dangerous felons. Now violent crime is surging in Wisconsin.
More people have been killed in Milwaukee this year than in any previous year.
Mandela Barnes attacked the Kenosha police and incited more violence.
The officer's deadly actions attempted to take a person's life in broad daylight. This felt like some sort of vendetta.
Mandela Barnes, dangerously liberal on crime.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Attention foodies. With this fusion of prime rib steak, melted provolone, and other magical melty stuff, Arby's is now officially a fusion restaurant. Chef Smooch, Arby's, we have the meat.
Champion summer savings are here. Don't miss our best window sale. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free.
At Champion, we make buying new windows easy.
Unlike some other companies, at Champion, we control every aspect of the process. We design it, we build it, we install it, and we guarantee it for life.
Keep the heat out this summer with new energy-efficient windows from Champion. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. Call or go online to book your free estimate at getchampionwindows.com.
New Astapro Allergy, now available without a prescription. Astapro is the first and only 24-hour storage-free spray. While other allergy sprays take hours, Astapro starts working in 30 minutes. So you can Astapro and go.
First, we found out that Radical Tim Michaels supports Wisconsin's 1849 abortion ban.
But you wouldn't support exceptions for rape or incest?
That's correct. Now we found out his foundation funds a group working to outlaw birth control and ban abortion, even to save the life of the mother. And his family foundation funds a group that uses cell phone data to track women if they go to abortion centers. Vote no on Radical Tim Michaels.
It's safe to say that a great day's work starts with a great night's sleep. So no matter what kind of job you have, Denver Mattress has the right mattress for you. So shop the extended Labor Day sale today, because the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Check out the Summit Firm, now only $299.99. Or save up to $200 on our Denver Mattress brand lineup. Score 2 Doctor's Choice pillows for only $69.99, plus 4 years no interest and free shipping. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right mattress.
A crisis in staffing at a local nursing home fuels tensions amongst Dane County board members. We examine how the board's turmoil is impacting the welfare of the elderly residents at the home and what their futures hold. Tonight at 6.
It all comes down to the final drive. News 3 Now brings you the big play highlights and scores from Southern Wisconsin high school football action. Don't miss the final drive. Fridays on News 3 Now at 10.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
This Sunday marks the 21st anniversary of the September 11th terrorist attacks. For more than 2 decades, tens of thousands of emergency responders have been dealing with chronic health issues from being exposed to toxic dust and debris. Dan Lieberman shows us those long-term impacts.
Michael Gullub spent 11 months at Ground Zero. First as a volunteer with his fire department. Later, the company he worked for was contracted by the city.
I was responsible for the medical care for everybody that was on the site.
Within a week or so, he couldn't stop coughing.
I had that for years until I started coming here. and getting the proper medication.
Here is the Stony Brook World Trade Center Wellness Program. Thousands of responders are seen with conditions such as obstructive airway disease, asthma, cancer, PTSD, and depression.
This gives rise to a variety of susceptibility and vulnerability to being able to deal with other diseases or infections.
Program Director Dr. Benjamin Loft's latest research looks at nearly 1,300 responders who had COVID-19. Data shows patients with 9/11 related chronic conditions are more likely to have more severe infection and suffer with long COVID symptoms such as shortness of breath and brain fog.
Now that we've been able to follow these patients for as long as a year, we find about 15% of our patients continue to have problems with long COVID.
Another recent study suggests responders with PTSD could be affected by a specific form of dementia. Michael encourages responders to be monitored and get treatment.
The first few years before the program, I used to tell people when I die, put 9/11. I don't think that anymore.
And he's grateful he's still here with his family. Dan Lieberman, CBS News.
It's estimated more than 80,000 emergency responders are currently enrolled in World Trade Center health programs. This weekend, local first responders are asking for the community to donate blood during the 11th annual Never Forget Blood Drive. Madison Fire and Police Departments are teaming up with the American Red Cross to host the drive from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. tomorrow at the fire station on Dairy Drive. Right now, many appointments are still available. More information can be found on the Madison Fire Department's Facebook page. Today, Madison College hosted a ceremony in honor of the nearly 3,000 people who were killed on 9/11. The remembrance ceremony also honored the thousands of police, fire, and EMT workers who responded to the scene that day. The event was open to the public. Dane County Sheriff Calvin Barrett was a guest speaker, and he spoke about the fear first responders face every day. But despite that fear, they go anyway.
When everything in our mind, in our heart, in our soul, and our common sense is telling us to run, we go anyways. We put water on a fire after an explosion from a gas leak in some prairie. We respond to active threat responses on a daily basis at schools and in public. We respond to those calls and put a tourniquet on someone that may be HIV positive when they're bleeding profusely, because that is our job and that is what we are called to do.
Looking ahead, several local communities will be hosting 9/11 remembrance ceremonies this weekend. That includes one in Janesville. The Janesville Fire Department will be hosting a ceremony that is open to the public on Sunday. It begins at 7:35 at Firehouse Park's 9/11 Memorial. It will include comments from Janesville firefighters, local 580 leaders, and conclude with a moment of silence at 7:46. The same time the first alarm sounded at New York City firehouses the day of the attack. Well, switching gears, what does the forecast have in store for us? Well, don't look at me, but Chris Reese probably knows. Hey, Chris.
Hey, we're watching this cold front. I told you about it yesterday, and this cold front is really still on the maps at this point, and it's going to be driving the weather story as we move into the weekend. You're going to see those rain chances on the rise. Right now, most of the shower activity has been from parts of the UP of Michigan all the way through the Twin Cities back towards Sioux Falls, and that rain has been pretty steady all day long. Lots of cloud cover. Anyone traveling up north of Eau Claire, you're running into a lot of that rain too. Rice Lake, Superior, Ashland. You're seeing the rain, and that rain will move into our neck of the woods this time tomorrow. Things really begin to get wet. So we're talking about a washout for Saturday night into Sunday. Widespread showers could stick around into parts of your Monday as well. This cold front will push towards the south. Eventually another wave of low pressure develops along it. And the question is, how long does that wave of low pressure just sit and spin? I still think it gets out of here Monday evening into early Tuesday at the absolute latest, but we get a good drink of water out of it. Perhaps 1 to 3 inches of rain will fall, and it may fall down kind of heavy at times, so keep that in mind too. I want to take you hour by hour though, because tomorrow we've got the Badger game. They kick off at 2:30. Tailgating is going to happen earlier on before we get to kick off. And yeah, you might be playing a little bit of splash or dash. Here's how it goes. This is lunchtime tomorrow. We're cloudy. Temperatures are into the 60s and 70s. I can't rule out a couple of spotty showers, but most of that will be to the north and west, where some of those rain chances begin as early as tonight. 2:30, still some spotty showers, but most areas are dry. Most of that rain holding on to the north and west, but by 6 o'clock, we're now towards the end of the game at this point. Now we're starting to see those raindrops move in, so it's going to be real close, and that rain is pretty steady as we start to move into the overnight hours. Here's a wider view, by the way, and I'm going to show you two different models here because there's still actually a little bit of disagreement. You would think we were in the winter here, but you see the rain moving in. This is 3:30 Saturday, and that front eventually pushes to the south and east. Now this model is rather quick, and it takes that heaviest rain to the south and east as we start to move towards Sunday. Meanwhile, you're drier back towards the north and west. Model number 2 has the same system, but it actually wraps in more of that moisture, and it actually brings it in from the east, taking us into Monday and parts of Tuesday. This has been the overall thought. This has been what's been driving our forecast as of late, and it's why we have the rain chances in that picture. Not just Saturday and Sunday, but into Monday as well. A slight chance of showers early Tuesday, but we generally should begin to clear out. Can't rule out a stray shower late Thursday night either. Otherwise, slight chances for showers or thunderstorms as we go throughout the end of next week as well. Temperatures will be into the upper 70s.
Thank you, Chris. We have some first warn traffic notes for your weekend plans in Madison as thousands plan to take part in Ironman, Wisconsin. Okay, here it is. Racers will be swimming, biking, and running across the downtown and greater Dane County area. The Iron Kids Fun Run kicks off tomorrow at 9 a.m. with Ironman beginning at 6:45 Sunday. Now, a stretch of John Nolan Drive will be closed for the better part of the day for the biking portion. Near the Alliant Energy Center, the Rimrock Road ramps on and off the Beltline will be closed, along with Badger Road. A number of other streets are closed for the running competition. You can find this map and all of the details on channel3000.com. Good luck to everyone participating. Well, the Ice Bucket Challenge brought awareness to the horrible disease known as ALS. And now an experimental treatment is bringing much needed hope. We'll show you how close patients are to it being a reality.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
My husband said to give our house more curb appeal, so I started painting. Then I went on Google and looked up the meaning of curb appeal. It said to make it more nicer. So I called Replacement Window Center, and they put in new replacement windows.
Get free installation and 0% financing for 18 months. Free installation and 0% financing. Hurry, call now.
Replacement Window Center. Our name says it all.
Dear Senator Johnson, living on a fixed income, it's a struggle. I paid into Social Security and Medicare every paycheck. So it was a slap in the face when you voted to weaken Medicare. That would increase out-of-pocket costs. And when you wanted to let Wall Street gamble with Social Security. Senator Johnson, you look out for yourself and your fat cat donors, but have forgotten about us. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
It started somewhere between a cuddle and a struggle. It's the side hug. Tween milestones like this may start at age 9. HPV vaccination, a type of cancer prevention against certain HPV-related cancers, can start then, too.
For most, HPV clears on its own. But for others, it can cause certain cancers later in life. Welcome! Hi. Now, as the dad cab, it's my cue to help protect them.
Embrace this phase. Help protect them in the next. Ask their doctor about HPV vaccination today.
If you have type 2 diabetes or high blood pressure, you're a target for chronic kidney disease. They're the top 2 causes of CKD. CKD usually starts with no symptoms, so you can have it and not know it. To find out, check the kidney numbers from your lab tests. If you have chronic kidney disease, Farxiga can help slow its progression.
Farxiga can cause serious side effects, including dehydration, urinary tract or genital yeast infections in women and men, and low blood sugar. Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that may lead to death. A rare, life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop taking Farxiga and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this bacterial infection, an allergic reaction, or ketoacidosis. And don't take it if you are on dialysis.
Take aim at CKD by asking your doctor for your kidney numbers and how Farxiga can help. If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
Farxiga. Did you know Masterforce has thousands of tools at Menards? Any tool you want, we have. There are hammers, drills, pliers, levels, wrenches, grinders, sanders, compressors, nailers, workbenches, mowers, blowers, chainsaws, floor jacks, knee pads, work lights, fans. And that's just a taste. Come check out the wide range of products from Masterforce, exclusively at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
If you or someone you love is living with ALS, a new experimental treatment could give you some hope. The treatment is one step closer to getting the green light. An FDA advisory committee voted to support the approval of a drug that could help slow the progression of the disease. Steve Kowalski, who lives with ALS, is just one of the countless patients who is urging the FDA to approve it.
For those folks that are on the bedsides as we speak, getting delivered this devastating news, this is some hope that'll help them in their process of dealing with the horrible diagnosis.
The full FDA is expected to make a decision by the end of the month. A final check of your first warn forecast when we return.
Think crime is bad now? Mandela Barnes would make it worse. Barnes would eliminate cash bail even after the Waukesha Christmas parade attack, supports amnesty and sanctuary cities for illegals, and had worked for a radical group that wants to defund the police. Barnes has a long record of smearing police while spending your tax dollars on security for himself. Mandela Barnes, wrong on crime, dangerous for Wisconsin. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The 2023 Ford F-150 trucks are coming, meaning more ways to haul, tow, go, and do, and with more ways than ever to make it your own. Plus, if you order now, you'll lock in your price and lock in your rate. Do more in a 2023 Ford F-150. Custom order yours today. Lock in 2.9 for $60 and get $500 retail order bonus cash when you order a Ford F-150. Only at your Wisconsin and UP Ford dealers.
In 1983, Senator Johnson's daughter was born with a serious heart defect. Dedicated doctors and nurses saved her life. Family became the most important thing in his life, and it still is. He has always enjoyed the simple things in life: the outdoors, fishing, hiking, camping, cross-country skiing, Packer and Badger games, rec league softball, and playing guitar. And did I mention fishing? As a U.S. Senator, he fought to secure tax cuts for 95% of American Main Street businesses so they could stay competitive with the big guys and survive the pandemic. His right to try law has given terminal patients freedom and hope and saved many lives. And his Joseph Project has transformed lives by helping people get good paying jobs and be proud of earning their own success. Senator Johnson went to Washington for all the right reasons. I should know because I am that daughter, and I've been watching my dad help others for 39 years.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Improving homes, inspiring hope. That's Logan's Heart and Smiles, a 100% volunteer-run nonprofit organization dedicated to helping local families with children with disabilities in Wisconsin. For over 20 years, we've provided families with free labor for projects that improve safety and access to their homes and more. And you can help by becoming a volunteer, sponsor, or donor. Join us and help Logans help improve homes and inspire hope.
The Tempur-Pedic Breeze makes sleep feel cool. So no more night sweats, no more nocturnal baking, or polar ice cap air conditioner mode. Because the Tempur-Breeze transfers heat away from your body, so you feel cool night after night. Experience the mattress ranked #1 in customer satisfaction by J.D. Power 3 years in a row.
And right now, save up to $700 on Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets and get a $300 gift. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right Tempur-Pedic.
You mentioned it earlier. Tonight's a good night to go outside and grill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
All right, what are we grilling?
You know what? Steak sounds really good for me right now. That's probably my favorite thing to put on the grill. But those rain chances will be on the increase, especially tomorrow. Some heavy rain by Sunday. Temperature stay into the low 60s on Sunday, too. It's pretty chilly before we bounce back to the upper 70s
What?
by the time we get towards the middle of next week. No upper 80s in the forecast.
All right. Well, we had a good run of them, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. We did.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, everyone, for spending this time with us. We'll see you back here at 6.